In the tool palette, you will find a tool called the Magic Wand, which can be accessed using W as a hotkey. What it does is, based on where I select and click on my crosshairs, it is looking at the tolerance of pixels, and more specifically in terms of hue and contrast, based on this number. If we zoom up on this right here, you can see that the sky isn't made up of just one blue, it's made up of a lot of different blues. Based on the tolerance that's set, it is looking at pixels on either side based on that tolerance. So in this case, I have the number 15 set. And what 15 is saying is that basically 7.5 pixels based on the system color palette on either side of the color selected are being chosen. Other things we have is anti-aliasing, which, as you know, pixels are square, and it's going to round off and soften up some of those pixels. And contiguous is being selected, which means that depending on the colors I pick, the colors actually have to be touching each of those pixels. So an example of this is if I go on these greens, you see how it just selects these small areas. If I take off the contiguous, notice how it selects everything within a 15 pixel tolerance. So most of the time you're going to want to have contiguous set unless you're trying to get various parts of an image. So the other and last checkbox in here is sample all layers. If I go over to this image, and it's made up of 3 different layers. So we have the figure and the woman and the background. So in this particular example, if I have sample all layers selected and I click, I'm going to get these pieces, and I'm getting everything, and especially if I have a larger number up here, say 45, I'm grabbing all of these pieces. If I don't have sample all layers selected and I just have the layer I want selected and I click on that, then I'm just going to get that one layer. So it's important when you're using the wand that you check all of the different options that go with this tool. So let's for a minute go back to our woman and child here, working the farm, and I'm going to grab the wand tool and I'm going to select. Now holding down the shift key allows me to add to a selection, like so. If I accidentally go somewhere in the wrong place, I hit Command Z and I just back up one step. If I want to subtract from a selection, I hold down the Option key. So in this case, I'm going to go here and grab this piece and go like this, and maybe zoom up a little bit here to make sure I'm getting all my pieces. Get my wand, hold down the shift again, get this little individual pieces in here. And this means of selection isn't the most exact, and you'll see that the hair and so forth isn't so great, but it is a quick way of selecting objects and then allowing me to perhaps go to the to a quick mask or to refining of my edges in my selections and those kinds of things. So this is a quick selection. We'll just go and get this last little piece over here. And what I want to do now is, since I have the sky selected, I'm just going to grab a little piece of Moab. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to here and I'm going to paste using my Edit, Paste Special, Paste Into. I'm going to grab a little bit of this. And I can move that background using the Vector tool and say, okay, I now have a little bit of red rocks behind here. You can see that I've missed a few areas of selection, but overall it's not so bad. And that's a quick way to use the Magic Wand and at least see what something would look like.